Here we go. Oh, I thought they were doing like title drops. it's I heard the crickets is actual midnight mass. Cause I'm curious now, is he a vampire? Like, is he a vampire? But he goes out in the sun, so I'm like, is this a different type of vampire where he transforms into a human during the day and a vampire at night? Because that old woman thought he was the preacher, the old preacher. And I was like, is this the preacher? He's just younger, looks younger. No one recognizes him. You know, I don't know.
Bless me, Lord, for I am going to sin. Tomorrow morning I'm going to introduce myself to the parish and lie to them about Monsignor John Pruitt.
Monsignor? Monsignor Pruitt?
Oh,
Where are you going? We're this way. This way.
He wandered from his tour group.
probably should have had somebody with him at all times if he's like got dementia or something, or if he's just senile, he's just old and forgetful.
This was an odd senior moment. This was a man in the grips of dementia, more advanced than anyone in the parish had admitted.
Okay, he did have dementia. That's clearly a young dude in old makeup, old people
I'm not going to tell
makeup.
them any of that. I am going to tell them this lie for their benefit, so that when it starts, they'll be ready.
Man, it's what starts when they start turning vampires. Oh yeah, that's right. She walked and she was paralyzed. Like, I think that he does miracles now. Especially like, how long has she been in that chair? You think her legs would be being atrophied? I think that's the right word. And then her, like, she could see perfectly without her glasses now. Even she was like, "The hell? Like I can see now without my glasses." Don't question it.
Father?
What's wrong with him? What's going on here? Okay. Oh, he's coughing up blood.
Are you all right?
We get cancer or something? I keep thinking that he's a vampire too, and sometimes I think that maybe he's like the human helper.
A true miracle. Isn't it? A miracle, I mean.
She turned into a vampire.
No shit! Had you felt anything? Had you had any sensations prior to this morning? Even when I couldn't feel them, I could feel them. Like we talked about.
Phantom pain.
Phantom limb syndrome, right?
Well, yeah, phantom limb syndrome, phantom pain. Because even if she started getting the feeling back, you would think it'd be a long physical therapy recovery.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, her muscles undeveloped. Like it'd be a long time before she'd be able to use her legs.
Have you ever seen anything like this? I mean, it's a miracle, isn't it? A real one, like a gospel's real one.
Before today, no. I would love to get Lisa to the mainland for some advanced testing.
Oh, I don't know.
Truth be told, Sarah, well, we pay rent on a house we used to own. Half the food we eat is bought on SNAP benefits, and the other half.
Oh, we can't afford it. They're like we don't have a real problem with that, but we don't have the money to do that.
It feels wrong, doesn't it? To interrogate a miracle.
Oh my God! Don't get religious with this, man. Oh my God! Interrogate a miracle. Don't just dumb this down to just this is a miracle. Let's just not question it or try to see if we can help anybody else. Like, I mean, I guess if it is like a legit miracle, you couldn't help anybody else with it because only this guy or a prophet could do it.
My wife, if you could please pray over my wife.
Oh boy, here we go.
God does not seek glory. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. For his steadfast.
He's like, hey, you want some miracles? A few drops of air power. That's all it takes.
Love endures forever. To him who alone do.
I mean, he should have known this was gonna happen. Cause it seemed like he wanted it to happen. He's like, "Come walk towards me, like get up and walk towards me." knew this was gonna happen, especially in a community that is devoutly religious.
Fourth step can be very difficult, but I know you can do it. Really do.
We really not gonna talk about it? Whole town's buzzing. A miracle. It wouldn't be surprised if you get a phone call from a reporter on the mainland.
This isn't about publicity. I turned that down. As Matthew says, if you give something to someone in need, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
He plays this part really well. They both do, but I like the had a priest. He seems to be very open, but at the same time hidden. Because we know what's going behind the scenes. It's like he talks, but he doesn't talk. It's almost like interrogating somebody that talks too much, but they tell you nothing. You get no useful information.
I looked, it happens. It's rare, but it does. So, like, her body could have been slowly healing this whole time. I can explain all of it, except one thing. You had to know that she could walk. I mean, you went back up the stairs. You beckoned her. What would this community have thought of you if she hadn't?
What are you asking?
I'm asking, how did you know that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, could you have known that?
I really don't have an answer that's going to satisfy.
Oh, here we go with this. Like God told me.
Ramp, that I could almost see it, that I could almost hear her voice inside my head. I felt so connected.
Well, he knows that she's getting enough blood, so she's healing enough because she's coming a vampire. So he knows that. I still think it's vampirism because of the drinking of the blood and stuff, obviously.
Obviously.
And it seems like people going to daily communion or whatever, been getting more of it and seem to be changing faster than other people, like his mom and this girl.
Does it hurt?
No.
It makes me feel sad that we're gonna have to drive a stake through her heart later because she's gonna become a vampire.
Oh my God!
Sure. Thanks.
See, this is what happens. Either people think it's a miracle, other people looking at her like it's some demonic shit. That's usually how it goes. Because, like, oh, is it actually a miracle, or is it Satan want us to think this is a miracle? So and then the preacher be like, hey, you know what? Instead of worshiping God, how about we worship Lucifer, the light bringer? He's the one who actually did this. He's like, what the fuck? Back don't hurt. She's acting weird too. Like, it's not just that she can see, but her behavior is not it's a little bit more subtle, I guess you could say. Like, she hasn't been talking as much, maybe because it's just not focusing on her anymore. But like, he was expecting his back to hurt, and then he gets on. He's like, back doesn't hurt.
What about your back?
Just dance with me.
Everybody's becoming a goddamn vampire. This would be crazy if at the end of this actually works, and everybody becomes a vampire, and it just becomes a town of vampires. Because they already like a small community. Because even she said that there used to be hundreds of them, but now it's just dozens. So I mean, you can keep this quiet, and it's not like a lot of people come here. Okay, is this like Salem's Lot or some shit? Now, I mean, she's not a vampire yet, but it reminded me of that.
Let me in. You don't get a mark on your friend.
How do you sneak out in this small ass house? Oh wow, she's even better than she was before. He's suspicious. He like, what the fuck is going on here? Because he don't just chop things up. Oh, it's a miracle, and that's it, and just let it go. He's like, you know, something's weird going on here. Oh, I was, it'd be crazy if she bit him or something like that. Like, I don't think she's that far gone, but because he seems to be slowly doing it. He knew he needed to get more people in the church, so he did this shit to make it like, oh, it's a miracle. Because more people will come if they think they can, if they actually see, you know, miracles working like that. And oh, they have an incentive to come other than, because you can't just keep telling people, oh, well, if you come to church, you know, you have an eternal reward, you know, when you die. And he's like, you know, I gotta wait till I die. This bitch. She brought it back. Like, no one's questioning this, and she's not questioning like that she can see. He's not questioning his back. He ain't been to do this in how long? She's like, oh, your back work now, so we can go, you know. Let's go to the bedroom right quick.
Listen, why don't we go in the back and shag?
Do we have another bottle? I swear we used to have some lying around, but I haven't seen them recently.
You boys line up. I'll take care of it.
I don't think it's lit.
My bad.
Uh-oh, he gonna see something.
Let's go. 3 weeks ago, when we began...
Oh, he just kind of just ignore it.
Isn't it? I can barely visualize next week, let alone eternity. But, I mean, for most of us, eternity...
Now he gonna start questioning. He gonna have to speed up now because that kid saw him. Why would he do that like that, just openly?
...are as tangible as the ground beneath our feet. And his covenant, it's not abstract. No, it's a contract. Scrawled in...
I notice how he's becoming more and more like these big mega churches. The more they get more and more animated, it's like more and more they start getting more and more people and more influence and more money. They be all over like the stage. It's like they just performing. Boy.
God gives us miracles very rarely, here and there, but mysteries. Softly, as the word of God sweeps. Sorry, I'm just a little bit tired today. Tiny dizzy spell. It's past. I'm fine. Sorry. I'm very sorry.
I mean, he was coughing up blood. Like I don't know how many days went by. I don't know what that's about. I mean, like I said, is he a vampire, or is this a thing where maybe he's drinking blood too? It's like one of those things where if humans drink the blood, they don't become vampires, but it heals them of their wounds or disease and stuff like that. Maybe I've seen vampire lore like that where humans. Oh shit!
Go get Dr. Gunning.
That desert. No, Monsignor. Lost, confused, lost in the world, lost in his mind.
I'm thinking he's Monsieur. Like, oh, damn it, whatever that guy's name is, Pruitt. I'm gonna just say Pruitt. I think he is Pruitt.
Astonishing storms, seismic storms, storms that had hit even unearthed ancient ruins in the desert that churned the ground, stirred the earth.
So he just wandered out the city and nobody stopped him or like said anything to him. Just like, oh, well, there goes some old man just walking out into the desert.
Your heart rate's elevated, and your body temperature is too. It's like your body's fighting a virus.
So he's okay then?
He'll live. You are dehydrated, though, Father, so cut out all the salty foods, drink lots and lots of water, get some rest.
Oh, yeah, she don't like her. She's a lesbian.
Or comfort to people. proud of you.
Thank you. You heard the doctor. Drink up. And I'm canceling all of your afternoon appointments. You need rest and you will get it.
I mean, you did pass out. Like, you just fall down at your podium. So, I mean.
Lunch is ready.
Let me guess, his son is going to want to start going to church because you see, like, what he thinks is actual miracles happen is the Bible. Why would you just leave that out? Yep, there it is. Either here we go. Ooh.
You want from me? You want to leave the guy alone?
But oh,
Hello. Is that the one? Is it?
No. That's my grandfather's gun. The other one, that one, I threw it into the bay right after I couldn't look at it anymore.
We're walking like any other evening, and then there it is. Like a clap of thunder, and I was just on the ground, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all. And it was when I realized just how much I couldn't feel. That's when I got really scared. I hate you. I hate you, Joe Colley. I have hated you for years. And the things I've imagined doing to you, I want you to hurt. I want you to beg for my forgiveness so that I can tell you no. I want you to live in complete, absolute misery.
I'm sorry.
Damn right you're sorry!
damn.
You stole from me things I didn't even have yet. You reached through time, Joe Colley. You reached through time and you stole.
Oh, she about to show him the. Oh, I thought you had to turn around and show him below.
I came here today. I forgive you.
I figured.
Because the
you're
only thing standing
walking.
between you and a better life is you. The only thing standing in my way was hate. The only thing standing in your way is you.
He hated himself for what he did.
If God can forgive you, and he says he can, all over the place he says it, and I can forgive you. And if I can forgive you, Joe Colley, then anyone can.
Damn. Broke that man down. I mean, he's been hating himself since it happened, you can tell.
Religious affiliation, you might find the fact that your son is interested in the Bible offensive.
Not at
I
all.
suppose. But I would say that
Why
if
would
he's
you-
interested in Jesus, why not allow him to learn a little about
That's
it?
so not the issue. He knows all about Jesus.
I imagine not quite all.
Muslims believe that Jesus is a prophet of God. See, we love Jesus, and we love the message that was revealed to him.
Well, I suppose we learn something new every day.
Contains some of the original word of God.
That's very generous of you.
But we also believe that God revealed the Quran as the final message, never to be altered, to reassert the original revelations of the previous
I
prophets.
don't think that this...
She like, whoa. Okay. We're not even going to go into the whole Allah thing.
Room, including myself, are a little concerned. See, Muslims encourage everyone to seek knowledge, so I am more than comfortable with my son studying a Bible. Thrilled, actually. I've done it myself. But where I think there's an issue to consider how you'd feel if you sent your child to a public school and they came home with a copy of the Quran, asking about the Prophet Muhammad. You'd feel it was an issue. If I went around handing out copies of the Quran to the children on this island, purely in the interest of the pursuit of knowledge, well, I'd expect you chase me out of town, Miss Keene.
If I may.
Ooh. Ooh, hit him. Hit him. Hit him.
People of faith, any faith, well, we're all of the same cloth, cousins, really. And it was never my intention to disrespect.
Bitch, fuck you. She is such a, like, I can't stand people like this. Cause you know that she is like this. Cause it's yeah, she says that shit, but like you said, if he, if he would have brought a Quran in there, it would be an issue, and she knows that. She's so full of shit.
Evangelizing. I am simply sharing my faith with the children in the hopes that they might be inspired. If we had a Muslim faculty member and they quoted the Quran to the kids, I would be fine.
Right, yeah, that's not, we know that shit's not
Saying so, a good deal of that text can be at times. That is not an attack.
Wow. It sounds like an attack. She can't even. She
Passages that
can't
are
even.
not suitable for children.
Sheesh.
And
This
valuable
chick is-
to adults, of course, but I would never read the tale of Lot and his wife to a group of kids. Anything that I quote, I vet beforehand.
No, you don't.
Actually, the point that he's making. And what is education? If not providing
Why?
the student with the option to learn.
See, this is
I'd
why.
be afraid to let them read a particular text. What? Are we gonna burn books we find?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Who said anything about burning books?
Local events, well, they beg further study, don't they? I'm just gonna say it. There is no point in pretending there isn't an elephant in the room. We are living in a miraculous time.
Why are you teaching? Why are you giving out Bibles?
This community is in the midst of a full-blown religious revival at the moment. And if the children of this community cannot discuss that in their local school, well,
Why do you need to discuss it in local school? How about you teach the fucking subject? Like this isn't Bible class. Go to church if you want Bible class. They're about to furiously make out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Kick their ass.
They kick it just like this. Oh!
That was actually my thigh, so.
I said kick their thighs.
Yeah.
They're so cute together.
I walked up the length of the whole goddamn island and I figured, what happened for her, it happened here at St. Patrick's. I mean, that's what everybody's saying, right? So I figured, fuck it.
Fucking.
Sure. I wanted to go to St. Patrick's Sunday just to check it out. Why? Everyone from our school goes there, so I just... Never asked me about anything. You're the one who decided to become Muslim for Mom, and you're the one who decided to move here because your precinct was too fucking racist and you just couldn't take it. It's always been up to you.
Oh, wow.
You make the decisions, you.
Well, yeah, he is the father. I mean, you older, but...
Happening, these...
What things?
You know what things.
Oh, see, that's what I said. He sees things like miracles happening. So now he said, well, there is actually real. We're sitting here praying. I don't feel like it's real. I like he was like emotional and concerned stuff like that. But, oh, what the? Boy, my fight or flight response kicked in right. I almost jumped. Up and ran out this room. Boy.
Father, I said, Father? Oh God, not again! What's wrong with him?
Uh-oh. Maybe he's that big creature. Well, we like halfway through the first season, so it's time to start, like, I guess, moving the plot along.
Father.
Now he got them Christopher Lee vampire eyes, but his eyes get bloodshot. If he encountered fucking Nosferatu or some shit, I am like, so they were literally within walking distance of this city, just of vampires. can't make a torch, and there ain't nothing really to. See, try to burn his clothes. Ain't it's not like sticks in there. They'll tell me this thing's gonna be like right up on him next time he does this. Oh, is that the thing that's been flying around? Yeah, like a lot that he doesn't look quite as monstrous as I thought he would.
Finally found the word. The word was unearthed by his fear, like the tomb was unearthed by the storm, and the word was angel. Angel.
Nah, ain't no fucking angel. You hallucinate. Think I ever heard any lore where angels like drink people's blood? I mean, they have like raped women, but
From the angel's wrist, the blood of life flowed, and a new word took shape. Drank.
yeah, so they just straight up vampires. Okay, now you just fed on him. Now you giving it back, but it's like vampire blood now. See, this is what I was talking about. Like vampire, they drain people to at least the brink of death, and then they give them blood to turn them into vampires.
The sun was coming in through the cave's entrance, and he walked to it. He walked to it, but he raised a hand to shield him from the sun.
Yeah, it
His
is.
hand
Okay,
was
it is him.
hiding in shadows, and I bowed. I wept. I knew the journey would be long. But I knew
Well, I guess that's. I mean, a person who is devoutly religious and this happening to them, someone gives them their blood and literally turns you from an 80-year-old man to someone maybe in their mid-30s or maybe even late 20s. Uh, you think this is a miracle, and I guess that is angel. She touching on that blood. I'd be like, oh, there's what's his name? Pope? Is that Pope Francis? The current Pope? Oh, what the fuck just happened? Like, she knows. This must be an older picture of him when he was younger. She recognized that it's him. How did no one else pay attention? Yeah, I bet she's accepted this because it's like miracles happening or whatever. So she don't give a fuck. Oh wow. Oh man, what is going on with OBS? Like I just turned the thing off, and the frame rate was 11.61%. I'm sorry, not 11%. The frame rate was 11.61 frames per second. I think the CPU was like I don't know what was like. I think it's at 40 or something, or maybe 50. Like what the fuck is going on? Luckily, I didn't pause it yet, so I could just put the recording I did earlier because it seemed like when I have the camera up, the CPU goes up, which makes the frame rate go up. But when I don't, it's perfectly fine because I record these off of like when I record it off Amazon Prime or Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max, Disney Plus, whatever. I record them off this so I can watch them later. I even recorded like movies that I had DVDs. I just recorded them when like I was sleeping or I wasn't home, I was at work or something, and then they had to record the whole video, and then I go back and I watch it later, and then save it, so then I can have like a digital copy, so I don't have to go get the DVD and stuff like that. But damn, I don't know why that's doing that. Everything is at the minimum. Hey, why turn it down anymore? It's gonna be worse. Anyway, okay, so we saw him get bit. He drained. This thing took pity on him. Gave him. I think he's brought this thing with him. So like, how does this thing feed? I guess it just feeds on rats, maybe. Cause I mean, he's out in the desert. I don't think there are many rats there because I don't think there's much stuff to eat. um, and if the thing's like a vampire, maybe it's like it just sits there waiting for something to come along. It doesn't need to. It doesn't die. So, um, which is interesting. I guess they're going with that vampire route where, because some lore, vampires will actually die if they don't feed. Like humans who don't eat die. But in this, it seems like it's more of a they just kind of just they don't die, but they just I guess have hungry all the time. So he's putting his blood in there because he's like, oh, this blood healed me, but I think he's turning into a vampire. Like I think he's turning into the thing that thing is. You see what I'm saying? Like I think he's maybe it takes a long time for him to do it, but he's drinking blood. Maybe he has to drink human blood. I don't know because I've seen vampire lure like that as well, where if you don't drink, if you don't partake in drinking blood, you don't turn to a full-fledged vampire until you do, but you will have this unquenchable hunger all the time. So you will always be hungry. And even if you, like, I've seen, I mean, there's been so much lore. Like, people have changed little things here and there. Like, even with, like, Angel, the TV show where, like, that spanned off from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where, I watched that show more than I watched Buffy, but so I know more about that than Buffy. But it's like in that where he drank like animal blood, and he said it satiated his hunger, but he still craved human blood because that's his like basically like his natural predator. So it was like oh, you can drink and get the nourishment that you need from animal blood because they show him drinking like pig's blood and cow's blood and shit like that. But he still craved human blood. So I wonder if it's like that where, but even in that, as soon as you turn into a vampire, you lose your soul. Like they become evil. Because I guess when you lose your soul, you instantly become evil because you don't have a conscience. So you become an evil person by default. But I guess I need to know more about to see the type of lore because we know that he needed to be drained, then given the vampire blood, which I was thinking. So now he's young or younger than he was, and he's is coughing up blood and having spells and shit. So I'm thinking he is turning into what that thing was. I'm guessing. Like maybe it takes a while for him to do that. He had to have brought that thing with him because like what the fuck was in that chest? Because he knocked on it and it knocked back. And I was like, oh, because I think that thing drinks blood, and I'm sure he's out there. Like, how often is he feeding? Probably not very often. And he's like, hey, I can take you somewhere where you can drink, where you can be near humans and drink all the blood you want. You know, that's why I think that's who was in that house, that thing. Now I think it was that because first I thought it was like a big, giant, like dog type thing, but they didn't. I mean, it was hard to see, but seeing how tall this thing was, and when that dude was in the house, he like looked up, like it sounded like tilted his head as if something was tall and like towering over him. I think it was that thing. To me, it had to be. He brought that thing back, thinking that, oh, this is a miracle and this is an angel that he's going to give this blood to everybody else. But like you're turning. I think the thing is he doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't realize that he is turning people potentially. I don't. I'm not sure if they would turn into what that thing is, or they would just be look like humans, but with vampire characteristics. With maybe super strength stuff like that, but not the wings and shit like that. But that thing, like, because it had to be that because it just showed the thing flying around, like they showed it like it was flying around, and I think that's what the thing was on Cat Island because it looked bald like that, and I think that Pruitt at night transforms. Because have we seen him at night? Well, no, he's been with what's the name at night. So, now unless that's like a transformation he can control, where he transforms back into his, kind of like I guess on the old looking self. But he's like, oh, not old looking self, but he's like gray, because it's like, because the way they showed it earlier, it looked like he's like a rake. When he ran from that window because he had like the coat on and everything. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. I mean, some things, like I said, we know, but the way he transformed, but we don't know if he's going to become the same thing as that thing, or if this is different because that thing is like a creature in on of itself, and it basically infected a human being with its blood, which now has basically created an entirely different creature that is human but infected by this vampiric blood. He's an vampiric because he's drinking blood, so he's just vampiric. But I mean, a tick drinks blood. We don't call it vampire. He's just parasite. It's something that lives off of other things. But hell, I mean, in that case, humans are parasites. Anyway, this is good. I like this. But if you enjoy my reaction, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure you subscribe if you're here. Hit that bell. You know, notify when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.